Well, this is certainly a strange way to start a show. On February 20th, 1939, a Nazi rally took place at Madison Square Garden. It was organized by the German American Bund. More than 20,000 people attended, and Fritz Julius Kuhn was a featured speaker.
All
This
Democrats.
was billed as a pro-Americanism rally.
White Democrats.
Yesterday, Donald Trump recreated this rally in the same place. He brought lunatics and racists and xenophobes. A comedian named Tony Hinchcliffe even called Puerto Rico a floating pile of garbage in the ocean. We'll get to that later. This may have been the single most disgusting rally I have ever seen, starting off in what was sort of a funny way as Melania Trump again dodging a kiss on the lips from Donald Trump. Apparently, the renegotiation of the prenup didn't include any kissy on the lips. And what a wild event, with Donald Trump showing up 2 hours late, as is often the case these days. He's just hours late. Explanation, who cares? But truly one of the most disgusting.
Hey, David. Again, intellectual dishonesty. And I guess your audience likes that. I guess they don't like being told the truth. They just like being told the propaganda, which is coming from you. So you might as well stick out your right hand, okay, and hurl the Zeke Hiles to your audience as well. There were other speakers that were there. Let the speakers finish. And if he's 2 hours late, what the hell do you care about? You're not there. You could give a damn. The crowd doesn't mind. Nobody minds. I've gone to dozens of these rallies. And if he's 2 or 3 hours late, I could give a shit.
Hate-filled, just hate in every way.
Oh my God, it's so hateful.
And no shortage of extraordinarily disturbing statements from the failed former and wannabe future president. Trump raising a lot of red flags by talking about a little secret. We've got a little secret, right?
Before we get to this little secret, okay, this little secret, right? Before we get to that, I just want to tell you folks how I know that I am 1,000% correct in the intellectual political dishonesty that is David the Pakman. The intellectual political dishonesty, I say, which is the David Pakman. He talked about that this was reminiscent of the Bundestag rally back from white Democrats in early New York. Right? Did he forget to mention some things that occurred within the Democratic Party at Madison Square Garden? Like these, I suppose? And then you tell me, see, there are lies which David Pakman does on an everyday basis, because he speaketh it with forketh tongueth. That's outright lies that come from David the Pakman. And then there are lies of omission. In other words, you just omit those things that you don't want to talk about. There's truth there. But see, if you tell and you showcase what you've omitted, then the lies that you've been telling, the truth comes out. So, David the Pakman, why didn't you tell your listeners and your audience the following? So I just wonder here, David the Pakman, did you just happen to forget the Madison Square Garden speech that FDR gave in 1936, about 3 years prior to the Democratic clam bake at Madison Square Garden, made up of 100% white Democratic males? I mean, this is FDR. You guys can check me. This is a photo from the event. 1936. I guess this was just a precursor to the KKK rally that the Democratic Party put on in 1939. And then, lest we forget, I think there was a Democratic president, 1960, in another election that was probably stolen by Joe Kennedy in Chicago, Illinois, because the Dalys and the corruption that we all know that is part of Illinois and Chicago politics. But I think there was JFK. Oh, that Nazi sympathizer, that KKK member, he had a birthday party. And also had an event at Madison Square Garden. And there were a lot of Nazi sympathizers and movie stars and starlets that came out for JFK's birthday. Let's take a road down memory lane, because you see, David the Pakman forgot to tell you about this. These are some beautiful, beautiful black and white pictures, folks, from the KKK birthday party bash for JFK. And the amount of black people and black stars that were there as well at this KKK rally for the Democratic Party and JFK. So let's get to those photos right now. I just want to add some historical evidence of the KKK parties that were being done by the Democratic Party. Here's a view of Madison Square Garden during a Democratic Party fundraising dinner and birthday salute to President John F. Kennedy. Or perhaps maybe they did the salute like this, with the heel click. They probably did a lot of that. And you know what? Since this was a KKK party, because of course, anybody that holds any type of a political event, fundraiser, a speech, a rally, it has to be likened to the KKK, because that's what all the mainstream media and the legacy media people are saying, right? Trump held a rally, KKK. You had brown people there, black people there, brown people there, Asian people there, Chinese people there, Asian, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, South Asian, Arab, Middle Eastern, African, Norwegian, Finland, every single freaking country in the world was there. Every color was there. Every gender was there. Non-gender, binary, LGBTQIA, MOUSE. They were all there at a Nazi rally in New York City. But I digress. Let's see some of these pictures, because what were some of the performers that were at the KKK rally for John F. Kennedy back in 1962. Maria Callas, I'm not exactly sure how that last name is pronounced. Yeah, Nazi sympathizer. Shirley MacLaine and Jimmy Durante. Oh, they were big time Nazi sympathizers. Shirley MacLaine and good old Jimmy Durante. Wow, one of the two biggest supporters of Adolf. Absolutely. The Jerome Robbins Ballet. Yes, these white women and white men, they were all Nazi sympathizers. Ella Fitzgerald. Wow. Talk about a Nazi sympathizer and Adolf Hitler lover. It was Ella Fitzgerald at this KKK fundraising event for JFK. Oh, another huge lover of Adolf Hitler, Harry Belafonte. Huge KKK member, one of the founding charter members of the KKK, Harry Belafonte. Jack Benny. Oh boy, another one. You know, it's amazing how many of these Nazis, I had no idea. David the Pakman, why didn't you educate me on this stuff, bruh? I had no idea that these were all Nazi sympathizers. And then, of course, Mr. President, Marilyn Monroe. Oh, big time Adolf lover. Huge, huge. The cake that was probably made by a German bakery. And President Kennedy concluded the remarks with included humorous musings, a discussion of foreign policy. And he basically said, so ladies and gentlemen, we are in your debt. And I think the way we can pay it is to do the best we can for our country and our people and to commit ourselves to the great causes which lie before us. Here's JFK with some more Nazi sympathizers at this KKK rally in 1962. Diane Carroll. Who could forget the beautiful and iconic Diane Carroll? Another Nazi sympathizer. I had no effing idea. I really didn't. Harry Belafonte again. And if that's nothing, check out these pictures of Nazi sympathizers within the Democratic Party that had their rallies and their conventions in New York City at Madison Square Garden. David the Pakman, lies of omission. Let's see these. So again, just to show the political intellectual dishonesty by David the Pakman, these are photos, the courtesy of a Twitter account, Grage Dustin, Gragedustin. We salute you, Grage Dustin. Well, I wonder who this Nazi sympathizer is. And in fact, Bill Clinton is a KKK sympathizer, right? We all know who Bill Clinton's mentor was. Robert KKK Bird, who was at the very top, like a Grand Kleagle of the KKK. How come we don't see anybody from the left trying to take away Robert KKK Bird statues or Robert KKK Bird off of the names of institutions, colleges, buildings, and the like? Why? Because he's a Democrat. He's Robert KKK Bird. And as Bill Clinton, as eulogy said, he was a good old boy. Sometimes he just had to join the KKK, aka the Nazi Party. He just had to join them to get along in those days. You know, you had to make friends. You had to make buddies and pals. So, you know, you found some of these guys, you know, and you chum it up a little bit. And it was just what you had to do in them days. He was a mentor to Bill and Hillary Clinton. 1992, did David the Pakman tell any of you guys about this KKK rally in Madison Square Garden in 1992? Of course, when David the Pakman talks about 1939, the Bundesbunden did their rally, and here we are in 2024 doing the same thing with President Trump. But he forget about that history of everything in between. Take a look at these pictures here, folks. Well, wouldn't you know, it's JC, James Carter, Jimmy the Carter. Wow. And there he is with the Nazi salute, folks. There it is. Proof pudding. Jimmy the Carter is a Nazi. He's got the salute. The salute's right there in front of you. It's black and white, folks. Black and white. Jimmy the Carter, card-carrying Nazi, loves Hitler. He's got the salute. That's what I think. And then, here they are attending the Nazi rally. He and Walter Mondale, they They've got the double salute. The double Heil Hitler. There it is, folks. More proof. Wow, David the Pakman, you are so correct. Anybody that's doing a rally at the MSG, thank you, David the Pakman, for opening my eyes and my ears. Thank you, David the Pakman, because I just thought it was just Donald Trump. I just thought it was Donald Trump in 2024. And all those people in New York, I mean, the whole city of New York, the state of New York, they're all Nazis because they allowed this to happen. But if it hadn't been for you, David the Pakman, I would have thought it was just them. But now I go on to find historically that there's a lot more Nazi sympathizers that did their stuff at Madison Square Garden. The proof is right here in black and white, not even in color. It's in black and white. And then, could I be deceiving my eyes again? Look at this. It's the Golden Ring Council. The Golden Ring Council. We all know what that means in code, don't we? David the Pakman? JFK attending his Nazi rally. Woo! I had no idea. None. And then we talked about this. FDR. 3 years before, the precursor to the Nazi rally, the Democratic Party, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And they're all doing the salute. All of them. Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, yay Adolf. All of them, all three men up there, saluting the Adolf. Saluting the Heil Hitlers. Again, thank you, David the Pakman, for allowing us to really go into our historical research. I mean, it's just, we thank you so much. Again. And this is what started all. These are the Democratic Party members. The Democratic National Convention was held at Madison Square Garden. It was a clan bake because at that time it was the white Democratic men who controlled the Democratic Party. And those people and their ancestors, their predecessors, and the people that have come after them, just like we talked about, Ed Kennedy, Jimmy the Carter, National Convention, 1980. These were the people, folks. These were the aftermath of these people. This was the aftermath of these people. They came first. And then FDR said, we got to do it again. And they got the hand thing down, the hand signal. They got it down. And then it went to JFK. And then it went to Jimmy the Carter and Walter Mondale. Yup. Heil Hitler salute. We see it. And then to Bill Clinton. Amazing. Now, I just wanted to share you some historical evidence that was brought up there because David the Pakman opened my eyes to it. Because I would have thought it was just Trump and the Republican Party, you know. And now, thanks to David the Pakman for opening my eyes and my ears, I know the historical context. That it all started with the Ku Klux Klan, which morphed into the Democratic Party, had their very first clam bake in 1924, and it was all Democrats. that controlled Madison Square Garden and had KKK parties and Adolf Hitler birthday party sympathizers. So I'm just saying, if you're saying that the Republicans are there, they only had one this year. What about all the Democratic Party fundraisers and galas and rallies and fundraisers and conventions? I'm thinking I see at least half a dozen there. So, just saying, the lies of omission. Oh, they come back to bite you in the ass, don't they, David? Anyways, folks, you've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. All comments. I want to see your comments because I dare you guys to put your comments out. What are you scared of? Little old me? That's who you're scared of? And I dare David the Pakman. I dare you. I'm just asking, David. I would love to come onto your show and debate you, but you know you can't. And you won't. I don't think you will. I don't think you will. But it would be nice if you could stand up to the courage of your convictions to say, you know what? I got to challenge this Dr. Nasser because you know what? He speaks the truth and I want to find out more. So I challenge you, David the Pakman. I'd love to do it anywhere, any place, anytime. But you've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasser. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, like, share, and follow the show. Know what to do. Take a look at our video links. They're up here, all 4 of them. And then we got so many more. Put your comments down below. I know most of you are going to be, I don't care what you say. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to love it. I want to hear the comments that you're going to hurl against me. I want to see them. Because I want to see if you guys are really interested in intellectual honesty or intellectual dishonesty. And my final thought is always, because you know what, folks? When you're right, you're right. And when you're left, well, you're David the Pakman. You're just wrong. Until next time, folks, y'all take care and y'all stay safe.